everyone, it's Velveteenduck. I need to tell you guys about this amazing new game on the horizon, Lindwyrm. The footage I'm showing you right now is from the alpha version, so things probably will look a little more polished by the time it's finally released. But I still think it's a game worth your time to look at right now. Ghostwhale Games is planning to bring Lindwyrm to Steam as early release in September 2024. Let me show you around the game. Create a character, and yeah, there's no class selection because you're not bound to any class. That's right, you are what you equipped. Want to be an archer? Equip a bow. Want to be a mage? Equip a staff. Each weapon comes with several basic skills and an ultimate skill. Each weapon has its own skill set. There are 7 weapons, each with 3 skills, the basic, the alternate, and the ultimate. So let's check them out. Now, it's worth repeating. The skills associated with these weapons are not finalized by any means. Even while I was recording, these weapons underwent a number of changes. Bow. I mean, it's ranged. Hit things from a distance. Charge it up and rain arrows on your enemies. Staff. You get to throw magic around and blast things away with whirlwinds. Axe. For all that it looks like you have 2 axes in your hands, you're still allowed to equip a shield, so this isn't really a dual-wield weapon. You get to intimidate enemies with your shout, though. Spear. This weapon is a fully melee weapon, but with a longer attack range than others. You also have a sweeping AoE attack and a fiery wave for an ultimate. Dagger. This is a true dual-wielding weapon with no offhand allowed. It boasts the fastest attack speed and pretty high damage output. Sword. A fairly generic chop and slash weapon, but the ultimate, which blasts an area with attacks, is actually pretty good. Hammer. This is probably the slowest weapon. You have a fairly easy AoE style attack that also has a small pushback effect. Also, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Because the semblance is certainly there. You tell me in the comments what you think. And technically speaking, you can also fight barehanded. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. You can punch, you can kick, and you can run away and put your weapon back on. You can switch between different weapons at any time, but your torso and your offhand item will restrict how many and which types of weapons you can equip. Torsos will allow you to equip anywhere from 1 to 4 weapon sets, while there are 3 different offhands that restrict what kind of weapons can be used. Pick your favorite combo wisely. By the way, if you do like what you're seeing, remember to wishlist the game on Steam so you'll know when it's available to play. Now that you've picked your weapon or weapons, dive into dungeons. Dungeons come in different elements, and as of the time that I'm recording, there are physical, fire, and ice-themed ones, with plenty more on the horizon. I will show you around some of the ones available. The reason I say some rather than all is because there's a lot of dungeons. If you grind the game for long enough, you will eventually see everything, but it's going to take a long time. Each time you enter the dungeon portal, you will be tossed into a random dungeon. There are a variety of enemies to defeat, traps to dodge, and puzzle elements to solve before you unlock a pathway to the next level. Puzzle elements include classic things like pulling levers, moving objects onto pressure plates, and even some less usual ones like flipping paintings around. And not every dungeon allows you an infinite amount of time to figure your way out. There's one dungeon where the only way to survive is to run for your life. Now, if you like hidden things, some dungeons have walls that can be destroyed with an explosive barrel to find hidden areas. There's also various little optional activities in some dungeons, such as this one with a lot of platforms branching in various directions. So, if you suck at jumping, just beeline for the exit. On the other hand, if you are brave, go explore. You also might stumble across NPCs who give you quests to complete as you're clearing dungeons. Some of these NPCs might later show up in town after you've completed their quests. As of now, in the alpha version, quests, lore, and storyline are still sparse and incomplete. But Lindwyrm does follow the basic RPG trope of you being a hero, helping out a village being terrorized by monsters, and you will eventually rebuild it. There is a traveler's log that collects all the entries to all the various monsters that you've slain. Obviously, this part still needs work, but the foundation for this feature has been laid. Just don't die. You can get killed by pretty much everything in Lindwyrm. Falling off a platform, standing in poison for too long, taking a beating from monsters, and frankly, the driving force behind most of my own deaths is probably greed. I'll be doing great clearing a dungeon, so I think one more level, and guess what? That's right. The one more level is what kills me. Should have been less greedy. Dying is expensive, you lose all the equipment that you weren't wearing, and also lose one random rune buff if you have any rune buffs active. Rune buffs can be activated at the rune desk in town. As you're grinding dungeons, you collect various runes and use it to unlock stat upgrades. You see all these red lines for mine though? These are all my disabled stats thanks to my accumulated deaths. But you can erase these negative effects once you get the appropriate town upgrades and pay a price. So it's not anything permanent, just expensive. Don't die. It sucks. Speaking of dying, I haven't had time to coordinate with someone to play multiplayer mode while I was recording for this video, but you can play Lindwyrm together with friends in a group of up to 4 people. And your HP pool is shared in a party, so pick your teammates wisely. Honestly, looking at my own track records, I'm not sure I want to be my own teammate. Back to the topic of town upgrades though, not all features you see here are available yet in the alpha version, so I'm only going to show you what is. One of the biggest upgrades you can add to your town is upgrading your blacksmith NPC for additional features in breaking down and upgrading equipment, a necessity for making yourself stronger. There's 2 types of upgrades, increasing the rarity of an item and adding a random extra stat to the item. And yeah, you can have both types of upgrades on one item. Most of the town upgrades look to be passive modifiers that will make upgrading equipment easier by making materials easier to obtain or costs cheaper, but conversely, if a challenge is what you relish, you can make your dungeons harder. Honestly, I can't wait to see where this game goes in the future. If you want more updates as this game is being developed, or you have really good ideas and you want to have them heard, a good place to go is Ghostwhale Games Discord server. And yes, the development team is actually active on there and will occasionally post sneak previews. Speaking of the devs, you guys might notice some familiar faces on the team. That's right, this is the old team from Drakensang Online, so if you love and miss old Drakensang Online, be sure to check out Lindwyrm. And with that, happy gaming, folks.